4,800-pound Passport 2400 here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Ideal, potentially SUV, towable, family bunkhouse ultralight. And what I like about Passports is they are no nonsense. Everything you need, nothing you don't. For instance, bigger baggage compartment. So you can put bigger chairs in there, you know, your folding tables, things like that. Power awning with LED lighting, something you're going to use every single day, so they invest some money there. It's also an easy adjust Solera awning, so you can literally take 2 fingers and pull on it and the awning will tilt and hold. What's neat is if you forget that, you can still roll the power awning in and not have to readjust the arms. It's not going to break it or anything. It's as close to idiot proof as they can get. This rides on a different type of chassis, and if you want a good house, you have to start with a strong foundation. That's the idea here. This is made with HSLA steel, high strength, low alloy. What does that mean in English, you're probably wondering, because I'm a nerd and I get into that science content. It's like an aircraft frame, guys. It's thinner but stronger. It's not the cheap frame on the market, but it is a good one. Now, the other frames, like a traditional I-beam frame, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. This is just better. They invested their money there as opposed to somewhere else. UV tinted windows, all of which slide open for airflow, is awesome too. At this class and price point, you don't always get the extra details. You usually get airflow windows on the sides, but the slide walls, that's where you got to start watching your attention to detail. You know, black tank flush, outside shower, little utility things on here. Those are nice. This does have an enclosed forced air heated underbelly. So surprisingly good extended season RV, despite being an ultralight, which one of the definitions thereof is that they don't necessarily have the same insulative quality as a big heavy monster fifth wheel. But I tell you, I've personally been in a Passport with the furnace running in January. I was comfortable. I took my coat off. We actually turned the furnace down. We were doing some training in one here at our store, middle of a Midwestern snowstorm, and we took our coats off. They can be surprisingly good. And they could not have put a bigger awning on this thing if they tried. I'm on the shadow side of the trailer, so that's unfortunate, but there you go. So they start that all the way back here. It goes all the way to the front where it starts to taper. And there is a full-length LED light under that, so you've got a big patio light. And what's neat is just like you can see that light white strip up there right now, you can see it even when the awning's rolled in. You don't have to roll the awning out to utilize that. This does have an outside kitchen. Now what I like here is they took the extra time to put extensions, like countertop extensions here, so you actually have a place to like set a plate or anything like that. Also a handy little utility shelf up here, just for, you know, random odds and ends, but they do have plugs there. And I looked at it and said, man, that'd be a perfect little phone charging place outside if you're going to spend all day. And of course, Dad's medicine cabinet. We love Dad's medicine cabinet, don't we? By the way, wide stance stability axles on here. These help equalize your load, meaning the trailer's not going to be inclined to wiggle, and it's not going to be inclined, to bounce down the road. So again, something that gives you better, superior towability and function. It also helps eliminate some really hard shocks and jolts going down the road. So once again, you want a good house that starts at the foundation. If there's less stress here at the chassis level, there's going to be less stress here at the window at the roof level. That means less maintenance, less fixes, less leaks, things like that. The whole idea is that it's built right from the bottom up, and I tell you, from the service standpoint, these things do perform. It does look like my battery box is running low on juice, so our lighting in here is going to be minimal right now, but I'll have just enough I can show you. You've got one switch lighting on everything, though. This should be about triple that brightness. Thankfully, it's a nice sunny day, and we got big windows in here. Now, what's neat, we can see out these windows, easy peasy, but you can't necessarily see in them very well. So you do have good privacy in here, and the fact that these are UV tinted means you're knocking down about 80% of the solar radiation from getting into the RV. What does that mean in English? Cooler interior that's more private. This will fold down into about a 7-foot bed, so you can have extra sleeping space there on top of the bunks if you need it. There's also full storage underneath all the entire seating areas. The decor here, this is called driftwood. There's a big push to these western-edged interior decors all of a sudden here. I like it. It looks good. But what I want to mention is this is one of the #1 selling floor plans from the #1 lightweight in its class. So the one we have in stock could be, maybe, probably is looking somewhat different than this one. So if at any point you want to see how much these are running, down in the video description I leave you a link. Click for price and availability. That'll show you what we have in stock, how it's equipped, links, weights, measures, all kinds of stuff. Now right here, this is either pantry, dinette, linen space. It could be hanging space because these are adjustable shelves. You know, it's just extra little stuff like that that makes the flexibility of this floor plan ideal for each individual user. Pretty simple bathroom, but you know what? Quaint. I mean, it's pretty. They dressed it up nicely. You know, you don't have to be real fancy in here. You're not buying a travel trailer so you can sit in the bathroom and, you know, read a book after all. And if you are, you're probably hiding from your family and you don't care. You don't care what it looks like. Double over double bunks, 300 pounds per sleeping space. So, you know, very acceptable for the entire family here. And I like the extra storage. Now, this is behind the outside kitchen because that is the back of the outside kitchen right there. And the double bunks give us plenty of sleeping capacity. Central air and central heat in a smaller RV like this, those are things you don't always run into. And something I like is they use an L-shaped countertop in your passports here that gives you a lot of extra like appliance space, and that's why they have appliance plugs directly above the appliance space. Not an accident. Now, this thing has 10 pounds of storage in a 5-pound sack, and everywhere you look when you open things up, you start realizing there's just more and more storage. It just keeps going. You've got storage in the entertainment center, storage up there, more overhead cabinets there, bonus storage below the stove below. Extra storage every single place you start looking. Now, when we start moving forward, you see that mom and dad have a nice private entertainment center up here. It cuts off the bedroom, so you have sliding private pocket doors instead of curtains. And then again, you know, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. If you're in the corner of the entertainment center here, because they build that nice flat screen on a swing arm, you can see it anywhere in the RV, and you don't have to lug along extra electronics. Everything's right here. AM, FM, CD, DVD, Bluetooth. That's pretty much anything and everything you're gonna need right there. So what's kind of cool too is there's extra power outlets in here. You can leave your phones charging right there, and you know, they can Bluetooth that stereo. Although these stereos have a very impressive range. You can be 3 or 4 campsites over before the Bluetooth starts to clip out. Front bedroom has something I really like to talk about. A lot of people walk in and they go, oh no, I don't want the bed to be right up against the entertainment center because I'm tall and these little campers don't fit me. And normally, you know what? You'd be dead on accurate. However, Passport thought of that. So they put in a full 80-inch true queen bed in here. This is not a 74-inch camper queen. It's a real residential length queen. So your feet, unless you're super duper tall, are not going to be hanging off the edge of this thing. Now, at the base of the bed down here, you can see that there are power outlets. So you can have phones and CPAP machines and whatnot running over there. We've got fully mirrored wardrobes with, you know, his and hers storage, bonus storage overhead. Everything that matters, nothing that doesn't. Now, if you do want a TV for the bedroom, they leave you this alcove right here, and they leave you the little feed hole for like cables and stuff for your you know, DVD players and all that. Now, some brands do a spinning TV. Passport's chosen not to give you maximum front bedroom privacy, so they don't got to worry about the little, you know, peek holes around. Every brand does it a little different. There's no one best brand out there. Every trailer's the best at different things. But if what you're looking for is something that's built right, doesn't weigh a lot, and can sleep the whole family, this one does more best things than pretty much anybody else in its class. So give us a call, 800-256-5196, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.